minority thing. Where
there's also the problem with the autopsy. The autopsy of George Floyd showed that he had lethal levels of fentanyl in his system. That he was going to die anyway.
I heard they wasn't lethal.
What does that mean?
I mean, I've seen things where it wasn't the levels of fentanyl were days old and whatever. It wasn't. He had an enlarged heart. He was suffering from all sorts of ailments, like cardiovascular ailments, and he did have a high level of fentanyl in his system that I think is in the lethal threshold. And then you have this high stress event, being arrested, also being compressed. Someone's pressing down on your body, restricting your breathing, and you're panicking, you're freaking out. Very possible to have a heart attack there. But I don't. But
so maybe by himself he wouldn't have had.
Right. So you're of the mind maybe that he had fentanyl in the system, and it was not great police procedure.
Well, it's 100% not great police procedure.
Yeah. So
100%. But also that guy had a history of abuse.
Yeah. No, but that's what I mean. Yeah. So then people protest, etc. Yeah. It's like.
But the question is, did he actually kill that guy, or was that guy dying?
You know what I think happens a lot?
Find out, because I had read that when they did the initial autopsy, they didn't find that his death was because of constriction. It wasn't because of compressed arteries or any of that.
You know what I fear happens a lot? This is a good example. So let's
find out.
Of course. So you're of the mind. I'm of the mind of like that was wrong.
Yes.
And then you go, yes, but he did have fentanyl.
No, I'm of the mind that was wrong too. That's police brutality and abuse, and probably not necessary. Like, it wasn't like he was thrashing and trying to attack. Like, you could have restrained that guy, cuffed him, and that would have been it. Right.
So my point is, so it's not but he was on fentanyl. Let's say that was awful police work and he was on fentanyl.
Right. Like, so let's say the police work was good and the guy wound up dying. That's different. Yeah. Right. Then you say, oh, he died of a fentanyl overdose. But if you look at the way they handled him, it was humane. It was
correct. Yeah. Now, would there have been who knows? Now it's
probably
just like
not.
Historically, right?
Well, that happens all the time.
What I worry though,
get arrested and they die of overdoses. That happens all the time. But then you could use Narcan.
But sometimes they don't. You know, there's like you've read that where it's like sometimes they just go like fuck it. I've saved this guy too many times. You know what I mean? Like it's just cops being like, fuck, I'm so sick of saving drug addicts all day.
Right.
Like people that don't even seem to want to live.
Did you find anything about George Floyd's toxicology?
Yeah, I'm looking. I mean, I'll just show you what I'm finding. I'm looking. I believe this is the autopsy report. It shows that there was 11 nanograms per milliliter, right?
Right.
I have no idea if that's high or not.
So then
what's lethal?
Tried to tie
10 to 20.
This is what Google says is lethal for humans.
Lethal dose is 2. Recommends serum concentration is 1 to 20 nanograms per milliliter for anesthesia and 10 to 20 milligrams per liter.
So he would
blood concentration. What's that, Jimmy?
He'd be in the anesthesia range. What he had in his system.
So what is what's lethal?
That's right here. Lethal dose
is 2 milligrams. So he had nanograms. So he had 11 nanograms, which is significantly lower than 2 milligrams. Is that what they're saying?
That's what that says.
Norfentanyl was 5.6 nanograms per milliliter. So did it say that he had cocaine,
caffeine? He had caffeine.
What is it? Oh, not even cocaine. Cotinine.
I was looking through it to find out what it says is like the conclusion.
11 hydroxy delta 9. So he had bullshit THC in him. He had that fake THC.
Right, I know, but that's 15 years ago, that would have been the lead story.
Yeah. Negative for ethanol, methanol, isopropanol, and acetone. Methamphetamine, 19 nanograms per milliliter. So he had a lot of shit in his system.
Yeah, but and so that's like, but he doesn't deserve to die.
No.
It may or may not have contributed to his death.
Right.
It's like shit that you can't prove, but once that's in the air, it creates this sense of like we'll never know what happened. And
also,
you're like, no,
the video.
Yeah.
You see him saying I can't breathe.
Yeah.
You see the whole thing. Yeah.
Yeah. And what I just worry about this sort of haze of all this shit now. Of everything.
Does any study say that he had a lethal amount of fentanyl in his system? Why do people keep repeating that?
All I was seeing in that was a bunch of people saying that, and they were like,
I know, and you're not repeating it malevolently. You just heard it repeatedly. Right. You know what I mean? You're not trying to make the guy look bad or whatever. It's just
no, but a lot of people are, and
I agree. They made that documentary.
Yeah. What documentary?
There was a whole documentary about it, and then that got debunked about George Floyd.
Oh, and what does the documentary say?
All the fentanyl and the all that
would
stuff.
Killed him.
Yeah.
Oh.